My father's flagpole wasn't just a pole, it was the last piece of him I had left. When they ripped it out, they might as well have dug up his grave. In the small town of Willow Creek, where everyone knows your business before you do, I thought I'd found peace. I was wrong. My name is Ethan Caldwell, and this is the story of how a simple tribute to my father's sacrifice became a battleground for pride, prejudice, and a neighborhood Karen who wouldn't rest until she'd won. It started 6 months ago, when I moved back to Willow Creek after Dad's passing. He'd been a Marine, served 2 tours in Vietnam, and came home with scars no one could see. The flagpole in our front yard was his pridea 20-foot steel pillar where he'd raise the stars and stripes every morning, saluting it like a ritual. "This is for the ones who didn't come back," he'd say, his voice steady but his eyes distant. When he died, I promised to keep that flag flying. I planted it in my new home's yard, a modest rental on Maple Street, and every dawn, I'd raise it, feeling him with me. The trouble began with Mrs. Evelyn Harper, the self-appointed queen of Maple Street. Evelyn was the kind of woman who'd report your grass for growing a 1/4 inch too long. She lived across the street, her house a shrine to HOA perfection. Manicured lawn, white picket fence, and a glare that could curdle milk. She'd watch me raise the flag each morning, her lips pursed like she'd swallowed a lemon. I ignored her at first. Small towns breed busybodies, and I wasn't here to make waves. But Evelyn didn't just watch. She acted. One Tuesday, I found a typed letter in my mailbox, unsigned but reeking of her perfume. "The flagpole violates neighborhood aesthetics," it read. "Remove it or face consequences." I laughed it off. Nobody could seriously object to a flagpole honoring a veteran. But the next day, a city official named Roger Klein showed up, clipboard in hand, citing ordinance violations. Apparently, flagpoles required permits, and mine was 2 feet too tall. I smelled Evelyn's handiwork. "It's a memorial," I told Roger, my voice tight. "My father died for that flag." He shuffled his feet, muttering about regulations, and left. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. Evelyn rallied the HOA, spinning tales of property value declines and visual clutter. Neighbors I'd never met started giving me side-eye at the grocery store. Whispers followed me. "That Caldwell boy thinks he's above the rules." I tried to explain, posted a small sign by the flagpole that read, "In memory of Sergeant John Caldwell, SMC." It didn't matter. Evelyn's crusade gained traction, and soon, the city sent me a formal notice. Remove the flagpole or they do it for me. I wasn't backing down. I dug up Dad's old service medals, hung them on the pole, and invited the local VFW to a small ceremony. Veterans showed up, old men with weathered faces, saluting the flag as I told Dad's story. For a moment I felt hope. Surely, they'd see the flagpole wasn't just metal, it was a symbol of sacrifice. But Evelyn was there, lurking at the edge of the crowd, her phone recording every word. That night, a post appeared on the town's Facebook page, entitled "Veteran's Son Defies Community Standards." The comments were brutal. "Tear it down. He's disrespecting our neighborhood." I didn't sleep. The tension built like a storm. I started getting anonymous call-shang-ups at 2 a.m. My mailbox was smashed. Someone spray-painted "Move Out" on my driveway. I confronted Evelyn one morning, catching her snapping photos of the flagpole. "Why do you care so much?" I demanded, my voice shaking. She smirked, her eyes cold. "This isn't about your father. It's about order. You don't get to decide what's right." I wanted to scream, to shake her, but I walked away, my hands trembling. I wasn't going to let her win. Then came the city council meeting. I prepared a speech, brought Dad's medals, and even got a few veterans to speak on my behalf. The room was packed. Neighbors, HOA members, and Evelyn, front row, arms crossed. I poured my heart out, telling them about Dad's service, his nightmares, his quiet pride in that flag. "This isn't just a pole," I said, holding up his Purple Heart. "It's his legacy." Some nodded, others looked away. Evelyn stood up, her voice dripping with fake concern. "We respect veterans, but rules are rules. If we let one person break them, what's next?" The room erupted, half cheering her, half shouting her down. The council voted 4-3 to enforce the removal. I had 1 week. I spent it chaining myself to the flagpole, daring them to touch it. Neighbors gawked. Some brought coffee, others jeered. The local news caught wind, and soon, cameras were parked on my lawn. Evelyn loved the attention, giving interviews about community standards. I didn't care about the spotlight, I just wanted to keep Dad's memory alive. On the final day, Roger showed up with a crew, a backhoe, and a police escort. "Ethan, don't make this harder than it needs to be," he said, almost pleading. I stood my ground, the chain biting into my wrist. "You'll have to cut me off first." The standoff lasted hours. Veterans rallied behind me, waving signs, "Honor our heroes." Evelyn's supporters chanted back, "Follow the rules." It was chaos, shouting, shoving, phones recording. A cop tried to reason with me, but I saw Dad's face in my mind, saluting that flag. Couldn't let go. Then Evelyn stepped forward, her face twisted with triumph. "You're making a fool of yourself, Ethan. Your father would be ashamed." That hit like a punch. I lunged, not to hit her but to grab the flag before they could. The cops restrained me, and the backhoe roared to life. They tore it out in minutes. The flagpole hit the ground with a sickening clang, Dad's medals scattering in the dirt. I broke free, scrambling to gather them, tears burning my eyes. Evelyn watched, silent, her victory complete. The crowd dispersed, the cameras left, and I was alone with a hole in the ground and a folded flag in my arms. That night, I sat on my porch, staring at the empty yard. I'd lost. Not just the flagpole, but the fight to prove Dad's sacrifice meant something. The next morning, I found a note slipped under my door. It was from Roger, the city official. "I'm sorry," it read. "I lost my brother in Iraq. I get it." Tucked inside was a permit application, pre-approved, for a new flagpole shorter, regulation compliant. It wasn't much, but it was something. I didn't file it. Couldn't. The fight had drained me, and the town felt like a graveyard of bad memories. I packed my bags, left the flag folded on the kitchen table, and drove out of Willow Creek for good. Months later, I heard Evelyn had sold her house and moved. Some said she couldn't handle the backlash. Neighbors had started flying their own flags. A silent rebellion. Others said she just wanted a fresh start. I didn't care. The damage was done. Dad's memorial was gone, and so was my faith in community. I keep his medals on my nightstand now, a private tribute no one can touch. But every time I see a flag, I feel that hole in my yard, and in my heart, all over again. What would you have done in my place? Fought harder, or let it go? Can one person's pride ever outweigh a community's rules? Or is that just a recipe for heartbreak?